I spoke to him to turn around so I could have a conversation with him. Nervous, yet somehow drawn in by his voice, he turned to face her, but without saying anything, he left that place, feeling lost and unsure of what to do. Searching for a solitary spot with nothing and no one to disturb him, he wandered to the part of the island filled with trees that offered him shelter. Hours passed, and his stomach growled. He couldn't remember the last time he had eaten. He felt frozen by the night chill, as his only place to sleep was the ground. Meanwhile, the girl had been searching for him all over the city, but just when she was about to give up, she looked up and saw the view of the forest. Thinking that this place might be where that boy had gone, she analyzed the situation and recalled how she had found him. The most obvious answer was the area closest to the city. With that sense of security, she set off to look for him. After an hour of walking, she spotted what seemed to be a shadow of someone sleeping on the ground. She covered the distance and confirmed it was him, wrapped in a blanket that only covered him from below the shoulders to his ankles. Determined, she approached to wake him. As she bent down to touch his shoulder, he didn't react at first due to his deep sleep. But when he opened his eyes, their gazes met in a magical moment for a few seconds. This moment quickly vanished when he reacted in fear, asking her what she was doing there and why she woke him up. She took a moment to respond to all his questions. When the girl finally reacted, she honestly told him that she was worried about him. Her answer relaxed him, realizing she wasn't a crazy person, but someone who cared for his well-being. Sunghoon confided in her that since he woke up on that beach, he remembered nothing except his name and age, feeling lost and unsure of what to do next. The information he revealed made her feel pity for him. To empathize, she came up with an idea that seemed good for getting to know him better and helping him as much as she could. He could move in with her and become a student at the university. When he heard her idea, he thought it was crazy, but it seemed like his only option until he could remember everything about who he was. When Sunghoon accepted her idea, albeit with some resignation, they began the journey back to her home. It took them about an hour as they left behind the landscape surrounded by trees under a starry night sky, then passing through the empty streets, accompanied only by the sound of the wind, which accentuated the feeling of being the only ones there. This atmosphere stayed with them until they crossed the threshold of her door. After closing it, they took a seat on the living room sofa where she had cared for him before. Once each was seated in their respective places, they set out to clarify the rules of coexistence. The room where he would sleep was easy to choose since apart from hers, there was only one more for guests. With that resolved, they created a schedule for cooking and household chores. They both agreed to do everything they planned. They didn't take into account that Sunghoon had forgotten everything related to that, so they would start doing things together until they could each take care of those tasks independently. One of the things he struggled the most to remember was cooking. Besides the things they did together at home, they occasionally spent time together outside, like going grocery shopping or having ice cream at a local shop. Before they knew it, they had been living together for 2 months, and their relationship had developed a trust as if they were lifelong friends.